homies, hey! I just dropped Sarai off at her dad's and I'm gonna have a night to myself. I'm pretty excited. So last night, I had a really funky night last night. I was listening to Mami Onami's masterclass on like sex magic, and I've really been interested in sex magic. Like, it's been whispering to me for years now, and I just haven't really looked into it very much. You know, like tantra and the occult, existential kink. I read that book. I was following, what's her name? Carolyn Loveweather. Carolyn, something like that. The existential kink lady. And like in shadow work, and it's like the dark arts, right? The dark arts call me, and I'll be like, I'm not ready for you dark arts. But I love the dark arts, right? So I really gotta fix this thing because it's always like boom, boom. So I was listening to the sex magic stuff, and what I like about Mami Onami is she's like a dark arts lady, and she's like, I'm a witch and I practice this and this, and you know, like drinking her own menstrual blood and semen from her husband, and she just lays it all out there, like blood ceremonies, this and all that. And like, so I'm listening to the sex magic thing, and I'm like at the edge of my seat, like I want to know, like, what is it, right? What is this really? What does this entail? And I kept like falling asleep to it, so I kept forcing myself to wake up. But then as I was like falling asleep to it, I was like dreaming the things that I heard, but I didn't want to just have it in the non-cognitive. I wanted to like know it. So there's a lot there. But my biggest takeaway for right now that I want to talk about was, like, she talked about black magic, white magic, red magic, gold magic, right? And you need the three elements of the black magic, the white magic, the red magic to alchemize to the gold magic. The gold magic is God source. So the black magic is the arts that teach you to meet the devil within. Right, the evil within, the devil within, the darkness within, the shadow. Right, that's what Jung calls it, Jungian, the shadow. And white magic is all about like the God within, teaching you to meet the God within. And the red magic kind of brings it all together. It's a more neutral of it's not devil or God, right? Like, it's solar and lunar, it's electric and magnetic, it's feminine and masculine, it's all of it. And I might have just fucked that up, right? I might have not remembered that, right? Because like I said, I was half asleep when I was listening to it. But that's how it landed with me, and I was like, and in that red magic and alchemizing it and bringing it all together, you transcend. You transcend the duality of things, and you go into the oneness, right? The God source, where everything has value. All of it is necessary and good, for lack of a better word. Going somewhere, and now I'm just like, where was I going with that? Oh. These are the fears that I have of going live on social media, where I'm like mid-thought and then vamos, it's all gone, right? And now I'm just left with like dead air. So let's practice. Oh, and she said that when we alchemize into the gold magic, that is just love. And what does that mean? What does love mean in that space? And love in that space means that you don't want to change anything about anything. Like, you love the devil within, you love the God within, you love everything as it is. And I was like, oh man, that's kind of what I've been talking about, right? It's like not needing things to be my way to feel like I'm blessed or like life is good. That life is always good, right? Like, things are, that the apartment is not aesthetically pleasing, and can I be good with that? It's not how I'd like it, and it's still home for now, you know, and like not feeling like I need to change it or any of those things. And I was like, oh, how aligned is that? And then she said another curious thing she said it's easy to reach enlightenment. It's difficult to stay there. The work is in staying there. I'm starting to move energy. The burps are coming. And it's like, yeah, man. And are we supposed to stay there? Like, I don't think we're supposed to stay there. I don't think we're supposed to anything. Right? With that said, speaking of like how yesterday I was feeling like super uppity and manicky, and like, I'm saying manicky because I don't know, it was like racy kind of energy, right? Like, it was like, ooh, gotta get this done. I felt like juicy, alive, like pss, 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 like all the synapses is going off. Where today it's been a dropping of that. And I wanted to go into like a make wrong. And it was like, am I supposed to always be like, or is there like a time for in the bubbles and the, you know, the movement, and then the energy needs to settle itself, and then it'll come again, right? It cycles. And so I've had like a lot of emotions come up again today, and it's more of the same. There's been like a lot of sadness about the things that Hassan has said about me at the court, like the allegations he has made, and how someone I chose to create life with, that I loved very much, could say such horrible like lies about me. And then in class she was saying, what's your like hardest part in life right now? Because that's your medicine. Like, that's where you need to go to like alchemize, because that's your gift, that's your power. And you know, I have no answers of like, what does this fucking mean? How is this my gift? How is this my power? Like, how do I turn this hurt, this feeling of like, I've done everything in my power to be like loving, kind, generous. I had my son because I wanted to be a mother, and because I wanted to raise him, not because I wanted anything from Hassan, right? Like, I even asked him to give up his rights before the baby was even born, because he didn't want him, right? He wanted me to have an abortion, and I didn't want to. So it was like, deuces, my goose, like, you don't have to be here. And he chose to stick around to whatever capacity he wanted to, which was fine. And I did my very best to like make things easier for him to show up, because I wanted Noah to know that he was conceived in love, and I wanted Noah to feel love around him. So I done swallowed so many things to create an environment for my son that maybe wasn't a perfect environment, right? But it was as healthy as I could do, you know, from my own brokenness and from my own lack of knowing and from my own trying to heal and all that. And I like think of like all the nights alone with my boy, and being a first-time mom, and being disabled, and being far away from any kind of support system. And he'd go like weeks without talking to him, without sending child support, and I like always let it go, because it was more important for me for Noah to feel like he had a dad that loved him. So whatever capacity he showed up, like I'd bubble it up and make it nice, and I never told him all the things, right? And now he's had Noah for 1 year, and he's taking me to court and lying about like that I didn't give any finances, that I didn't financially help out, that I did God, all these things, bro, that I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I really want to let it go, but I'm supposed to be looking at like my biggest hurt in life right now, and like alchemizing that to my biggest gift. And I don't know how. I don't know. I keep hearing like, well, if you did know, what does that mean? And it's like, forgiveness, continue to forgive. Okay. I don't know. I'm at a loss, other than feeling what I feel and allowing the hurt to come up and out. And now I'm hearing like, well, if you weren't a victim and if you were a victor, then what would it all mean? And I don't know, I'm unstoppable. My love for my son, or my love okay, now let's add the black magic, white magic, red magic into it. Okay, so if I alchemize it, and I am love, and I don't want to change anything, and I can love everything exactly as it is, then what? I'm grateful for him. I appreciate him for helping me see who I am in the face of all of it. Like, I don't know, that kind of feels like I'm taking like shit and dipping it in chocolate and trying to make it like yummy. I don't know. I keep sitting with it. I keep asking God today, like, for my prompts, like, all right, what do I do today? And I just keep feeling like a settle, like a not nothing, but exhale. It feels like an exhale, like deep breaths. No need to rush anything. Be present. Stay here. Allow what comes up to come up. Don't stuff anything. Those kinds of prompting. And to feed myself. And I don't mean food, like feed myself. So I've been having this thing with clothes lately. Like, I don't like any of my clothes, and I keep seeing outfits on people, or mostly on people, and I'm like, oh, like what I would give to like get dressed for a day. But I don't have anything that I like that to. I'm like looking for the outfit to give me that like because I used to, fashion was my shit, and like I used to get dressed just to be like like I am super fly. And it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute that I have felt like that in my clothes. I feel like I kind of come a little close, but not really. So, and I'm really into upcycling. Like I want to upcycle my own shit. So I have pieces where I'm like, oh, if I like cut this here and attach this piece to that piece, like that would be dope. And maybe it wouldn't be dope. Maybe it's only dope in my head or in my vision, but I want to at least try. So I just pulled up to Walmart because I can't sew. And I bought myself a sewing machine and tried to teach myself how to sew with like YouTube tutorials one-handed, and it was so hard. I spent more time frustrated than in the flow of creativity. So I was like, all right, well, what else is available to me? And then I found all these like no-sew sewing things. So one of the ladies I follow she just uses fabric glue for everything, and that's how she doesn't sew. She glues everything together. So I'm here to pick up some fabric glue. The other way was a weaving, which I haven't tried yet because I feel like I need to set myself, and I feel like that's not a feeling. I'm really trying to shift like that. When I say I feel like this, but feeling is an emotion, I'm thinking. I think that what I need is like a table with clamps, so I can clamp the material down to make it easier for myself to cut. But the weaving thing is like, you cut up a t-shirt and you take the t-shirt material and you stretch it out after you cut a strip, and you stretch it out, and then you put a safety pin on one end, and then whatever two pieces you're trying to latch together, you make little slits, and then you weave that piece through to bring the two pieces together, and then you glue it at the end. So I want to try it. And I have these 2 articles of, well, it's like 4 articles of clothing that I want to make into 2 articles of clothing. So I have these pants that I bought that I like halfway of the fit. Like I like the leg fit, but I don't like the belly fit, because my belly's bigger than my legs and my ass, so I always feel like shit fits weird. So I want to shift it, and I have the pieces that I need. So today I'm gonna go home and work on that while I study, while I have a night to myself. And I also feel like I need to go to a cave, which probably sounds crazy, but I just need like a warm, I know caves aren't warm, but in my dream is a warm cave. Because I feel like a salt cave, a sauna. Like I just want to feel like small, enclosed in heat. I feel like that would be so nourishing. So I signed up to try Hotworks tomorrow. Hotworks is like you do exercises in a sauna, and they were giving away like a free class. So I took the stretching class because I don't want to work out, but I'll be happy to stretch in the heat. And I from what I understand, it's like a small thing. It's only room for 2 or 3 people. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And yeah, that's it, man. Day by day, slow it down, have no agenda, check in, follow prompts. Lessons from my toddler. Lessons from my toddler on how to be. Alright, that's it for me today. Love you guys. Bye.